We're going to take a look at some of the theories that are uh, focused on children's development. The first group we're going to look at are those that focus on biological inheritance, which is sometimes called the nativistic theories. And the first one, Gesell, is one that we today don't talk about much, but Gesell's work focused on physiological development, and he studied children in observation rooms, in lab environments, and tracked their physical development and gave us those average ages for rolling over, sitting up, walking, running, and all kinds of physiological skills. Noam Chomsky is the theorist that helped us think about language development and language acquisition devices. Behaviorists are theorists that believe that environment is key, and it started out with a philosopher named John Locke, who said that when a human is born, they're a blank slate and they are passively molded by what happens to them in their environment. Pavlov said that learning is connected to environmental stimulus and how we respond to that stimulus. Watson said that environmental stimulus is related to the types of responses that we have to it. B.F. Skinner said that learning happens through thoughtful planning of outside stimulus, and we can influence behavior and study behavior, and we can reinforce or promote the kinds of behavior that we want. Bandura said that behavior is not just influenced by outside stimulus and our response to that, but we also pay attention to what we observe happens to others when they behave in particular ways, and we think about our behavior before we do it. The next group of theorists focus on biological unfolding, or steps in development that happen as a result of genetics. Sigmund Freud focused on the importance of biology and the subconscious in personality and moral development. Erik Erikson says life is a series of personality and moral issues that have to be resolved. For example, with infants, they have to develop trust. For toddlers, they have to develop independence. For preschoolers, they have to be able to take initiative, and Erikson has stages for us all the way up through adulthood. Piaget, he focuses on cognitive development in a series of stages where skills unfold according to genetics and opportunities. Lorenz focuses on relationships from the first hours of life and imprinting when it comes to animals, and Lorenz studied animals, and that was expanded to humans by the concept of bonding, and this is imperative to later success, and that bonding has to do with newborns and their caregivers. And finally, Bowlby talks about that relationships are reciprocal, and they're between two individuals, and the effects that relationship can affect emotional and cognitive unfolding. And something I wanted to mention about most of these theorists, except for Lorenz, they view development as discontinuous and related to age, and their and the development is qualitative, whereas behaviorists look at development as something that's continuous, and we just add on to it as we get older. Then there's a group of theorists that really think about biology and environment interacting together. Instead of saying the environment supersedes biology, or that biology supersedes environment, they say it's a combination. Bronfenbrenner says that development happens with the child in the center, and their biology that they come with, and then there are influences around that child, and it's usually represented with nested circles. And so the family would be the closest to the child, and if they are in a group care program, that would be next. And it moves out to neighbors and extended family that they see less often, and all the way out to society and history. Vygotsky also says that biology and environment work together, and he says that language and culture influences as biology unfolds. Developmental systems theory also talks about dramatically changing circles of multiple level environmental influences, and systems theory is actually based on Bronfenbrenner's circles, but it takes those levels of influence, like the mother's environmental influences, and combines it with the child, and that's what developmental systems theory talks about. And then there's transactional or interactional theories that say biological inheritance determines the environment.